So he asked his bugler to play some notes that he found and change the music, which he did. They started playing that, and they started using that as the end of the day bugle call. Even the Confederate troops used the bugle call because they would hear it. The first time it was used as a military funeral, it was played for the burial of a cannoneer killed in action. They did the bugle call because they didn't want to give away their position to the enemy. It was also played for the first time at another funeral for General Stonewall Jackson. This was 10 months after it was composed. Taps is now played at military burials, memorial services, and accompanying the lowering of the flag, and to signify lights out and the end of the duty day. One of the most documented stories of taps as the bugle call was from a Civil War battle in Harrison Landing, Virginia in 1862. The melody taps is known to put a lump in your throat and sometimes bring tears to your eyes. I will now tell you the rest of the story. If you've ever been to a military funeral, you've heard taps. They fold the flag, taps is played, and the flag is given to the next of kin. Sometimes Americans didn't know this story, and probably some of you don't either. I didn't know it until I read this and researched it. Behind the song is a very wrenching story. Reportedly, it began in 1862 during a Civil War battle where the Union Army was on one side and the Confederate Army was on the other side. It was a narrow strip of land between the two, and nightfall was coming. During the night, Captain Eli heard a moaning from a soldier on the battlefield. He lay severely wounded in the field. Not knowing if it was a Union soldier or a Confederate soldier, the captain decided he'd risk his life and began crawling out to get the soldier. When the captain reached the soldier, he began pulling him back to his encampment. When the captain finally reached his own lines, he discovered the soldier was actually a Confederate soldier. But the soldier had died. The captain lit a lantern and suddenly lost his breath and became numb. In the dim light, he saw the face of the soldier. It was his own son. The boy had been studying music in the South, and when the war broke out, without telling his father, he joined the Confederate Army. Well, the following morning, of course, the captain was distraught and heartbroken and asked for permission from his superiors to give a funeral dredge to his son. They refused. They said, "We can't do that. He's the enemy. We can't do that." Well, the captain was pretty persistent, and he asked again, and the Army, the Union Army commander finally said, "Okay, we'll give you one musician." He chose the bugler. The request was turned down except for the bugler, and out of respect for the father, he got the one musician. Now, the captain chose the bugler. He asked the bugler to play musical notes he found on a piece of paper in the pocket of the dead youth's uniform. This wish was granted, and the haunting melody we now know as taps is played at all military funerals. That's one of the most famous stories about the song Taps. Now, we're going to play that song for you here this evening, and could I ask everyone to rise, please? You may be seated. I got one more little thing to say, and then I'm going to turn it back over to Al. Right? If you'll notice in front of you, there's two signs, one on that side and one over there. As you know, this is an American Legion program. Now, interesting this year, the department commander for us is Mr. Rich Crum, and he's on staff here at Boise State. The auxiliary president is Miss Kim Mealy, and she is at Girl State right now. She works with Girl State. The SAL commander, which stands for Sons of the American Legion, commander is Mr. Jeff Ryman. Where is he? Oh, he's outside. Jeff is here as a staff member on Boise State. The other part of our organization is the American Legion Riders, and their director is not here, but they do social rides for people and fundraisers for different areas. That's what our riders do. So if you're wondering what that sign was, that's what it is. It also has our 4 emblems that make up all of our organization. Thank you for your time, gentlemen, and I think we have a video now? Okay. Thank you.
It is a pleasure to speak with all of you today, and I'm just so sorry I can't be there in person. I have been so many years in the past. I'm always honored to spend time with West Virginia's future leaders, and Boise State is something I look forward to every year. A huge, big thank you to Robbie Robinson and Matt Sampson for your leadership and for making Boise State such a success. I'd also like to thank the American Legion for the incredible work that they do all year round. You all represent the very best of West Virginia. By being here, you've demonstrated an interest in serving our state and learning how the legislative process works. And although it has its challenges, it is also incredibly rewarding. It takes a love of your country, a commitment to working with everyone, especially those you disagree with, and a desire to be great servant leaders. The American people want a government that works for them, and they deserve that. The tools that you are learning this week here at Boise State will make each of you more effective leaders and provide you the skills needed to efficiently serve your communities, your county, your state, and your country. Another way you can serve your country is by attending a service academy, and many Boise State graduates have. Each year I have the honor of nominating young West Virginians like you for admission to our nation's prestigious service academies. Attending a service academy is a valuable opportunity for many reasons and can help open countless doors throughout your future. Regardless of your plans, I want you to know that West Virginia supports you. No matter where your future endeavors lead you, remember that country roads will always lead you home. And so, I'd just like to say thank you again and best wishes for a fantastic Boise State this week.